Hi there, welcome to my chronic illness journey. I'm Shay McIntosh Ford and I live in Tulsa with my husband and my 2 boys and our puppy, and I have lymphocytic colitis. This is a series of videos that chronicle what I'm working on, what works for me, what doesn't. I tweak things here and there. This is how my week has gone. I should also say I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. Don't take any of my information as medical advice. Talk to your doctor if you have questions. Make sure that it's a doctor you trust. I have found doctors that I can't trust. Make sure to ask a lot of questions. Bottom line. If it seems like I'm in a strange place, it's because I am currently in my closet because of that girl. There's a thunderstorm going on right now, which is weird in December, but it's thundering and she's nervous. So we gave her a couple of CBD treats and I sit in the closet with her until the thunderstorm's over. After I finished processing my video, I finished my wine, and that night woken up about 3:30 with some really intense nausea. Could not get back to sleep, and about an hour later, maybe it was about 4:15ish, I suddenly had to run to the bathroom. So not fun, not a good night. It's not the food. I have never had a reaction to beef tongue before. I've had it many times. It's the stress of the shots that I'd had. I didn't make it out of my jammies today. I just kind of took it easy. I had the second helping of beef tongue this morning and meant to have liver, but didn't. I was just not hungry. I didn't have any more bathroom issues. I didn't have to go at all today. I do have a lot of cramping. Sometimes I feel like I have to go, but I haven't had to go. And it's weird. It's almost like I'm constipated, but I'm never constipated. When I go, I go. That was the day. I might eat the liver. Normally I have today's Sunday, and normally I have liver on Sundays and Wednesdays. I have it twice a week. That way I make sure I have plenty of nutrients. It's a little late for eating, so I don't know. I did have some nausea about an hour ago, so I just took a bismuth and that was it. And it seems to go away. It's been mostly liquid. I think because of the shots. I think my body's just like, can't process too much right now. Just get over the stress of the vaccines, flu and COVID vaccines. So that was my day today. It's interesting while I'm in here because, I had to do laundry yesterday because some of my underwear is just too big. I just need to go out and buy some new underwear that actually fit. But it's a little frustrating because I have a lot of clothes now. There are some shirts that I have that I can still get away with wearing, but they're too big. And at one point they used to be too small. Some I've just gotten rid of because they were just way too big. That's a little frustrating. Good morning. I got to sleep through the night, sort of. I stayed in the closet until about 11 with my chicken dog. No more bad BMs since the one at 4 in the morning. And that's normal. It's normal for me to go even 3 or 4 days. There was one bout where I went 16 days without a bowel movement. I was worried I was constipated, but I wasn't. Just didn't have to go. I am finally going to be eating my liver and drinking my coffee. Normally I don't eat this early, but I guess because I haven't really been eating very much, I'm a little hungry. I do want to say, I don't want anybody to think that they shouldn't get the vaccine, because you really should. Trust me, the reaction I had to the flu shot and the booster was nothing compared to actually having the virus. If I didn't have the virus, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about my poop. And now I'm going to eat. One of the reasons I'm making these videos, someone commented that she appreciated my videos because this is a very isolating condition. No one wants to talk about their poop. But when it controls every aspect of your life, how do you know you're doing the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? I don't know that I'm doing the right thing. I hope I'm doing the right thing. I might be, because I have days where I don't have to go at all, which is better than having to go 5-6 times a day like I did before I figured all this out. Now I'm gonna eat. My salt grinder broke. See? Fortunately, this is the second one. I get my salt from Costco, and they come in a 2-pack like this. So I get a new grinder every time, and then the refill. And the reason why I'm recording that is because I can't remember if I've said it before, but the reason I use this is not because I'm gonna be all fancy with my pink Himalayan salt. I mean, I've read that it has a few more minerals and stuff in it, but it's mostly because of the grinder. With colitis, you can't have spices, at least not at first. You have to see what you can tolerate. Apparently with industrial processed salt, you know, with all the grinding that they do, there's a risk of cross-contamination of spices because most people don't have a problem with spices. So it's recommended that people with lymphocytic colitis use their own salt grinder. I've never had one break on me before. Going up to our messy garage, to my little mini freezer, because if I end up eating my oxtail this evening, I am going to need something else thought out for tomorrow. These are beef bones. I think I'm gonna have beef heart. And this is a big one. They're always big. This will last me like a week. It'll keep me from having to make a whole lot of other foods, although I still eat my liver twice a week. It's beef tongue at the bottom. And I still have some broth. I'm gonna have to make some more bone broth. I think I've only got 5 left. But when I make my oxtail, I get a couple of jars of broth out of that. I need to make an order. It's getting empty. This is something else I do every day. So this is the Grassroots website where I order my beef. And the things that I order, mostly the beef bones, beef heart, beef liver, oxtail, are always at the bottom. Beef tongue. Oh, they don't have the suet on here anymore. I thought they were gonna keep that on. Hopefully they'll put it back on because I only have 1 left. That's mostly what I order, but they're always sold out because a cow only has 1 tail and 1 heart, which is why we bought that freezer, so that I could order more of these at a time whenever they harvest more cows, so that when they are sold out like this, I'm not waiting with nothing to eat except for arm roast or something like that. So these are all sold out. So a few times a day, I come up, I hit refresh, and I wait, and they're still sold out. So it just tells me that they just haven't harvested any more cows recently. So hopefully they will soon. I'm gonna try to record this. I've got a puppy in my lap. She said, I'm not gonna let you do what you wanna do because I need lap time. So I just came back from the bathroom, and it wasn't bad, but not normal. So I dessert. Can I trade this for flan or something? It's not for you. She's still sitting in my lap, and I'm surprised she's not freaking out because my belly sounds like the thunderstorm last night. So as you saw, I was indeed hungry enough for a second meal today. When I say that I'm hungry enough, it really doesn't mean I'm hungry. Like, I really could have skipped it again. I shouldn't. One of the reasons why I try not to fast for too long is because I have familial hyperlipidemia, I think is what it's called, where my LDL is really high. I don't want to take statins, but also I can't take statins because of my colitis. You're not supposed to. There's a fellow named Dave Feldman who's been doing lots of research into this because he has the same thing, the hyperlipidemia. We know that fasting doesn't help. Pretty sure they said fasting doesn't. I have to look at it again. So you saw in my video that I got about a jar and a half of broth out of my oxtail. That fuller jar is almost half tallow. If you saw it in the video, it's like there's a huge chunk of tallow in the top. I probably won't heat it up and drink it that way. That's a little too much tallow in one sitting for me, but I will probably reuse it. Like even tomorrow, I'm planning on making my beef heart. I'll do a little montage for that too. So far today, it's almost bedtime. The cramping is starting to finally subside. Belly noise is subsiding. I think I'm getting over this bout with the body stress of the vaccines. Might check back in if anything else happens, but I think I'm done for the night. I don't have any plans to eat anything else. I don't snack. What you see me eat is what I eat. Yeah, nothing happened. No more food. I've not really been hungry enough to make anything. I am ready to eat now, but I took out the beef heart and it's still slightly frozen, so it's sitting on the counter, just waiting. I had my tea. I didn't want to wait anymore for coffee, so it's brewing kind of late in the day for coffee, but it's the one pot my body allows me to have. I'm gonna miss out on my delicious treat of the day, but I'll do that tomorrow. Still sold out. I got my coffee. It's not nearly as good without meat to go with it, but it's still good. I like coffee. And I got my candle because I'm having issues with smelling cigarettes all the time this morning. It's really bad. Another COVID side effect. Wonderful. This is my lap. This is my unfinished square. Is my first meal of the day that I can't cook yet. So in that little montage, when you saw me put a little bit of the beef heart on a plate, I ate it while the other was cooking. So that's the reason I cut it into sections, because there's always a part of it that's really thin, it cooks fast, and then there's a really big chunky one, which is why I don't use the splatter screen. So my stove needs clean now. The only thing about eating beef heart that you have to know is that it is chock full of B vitamins. And I learned the hard way, you do not eat that right before bed because it's really hard to fall asleep. I'm just a lot more alert after eating a beef heart. So that was my only meal for the day, and I didn't have a BM. I don't think I will. I'm feeling pretty good. A little crampy. It's shaping up that tomorrow I probably won't have a BM. We'll see. That's my prediction. We'll see if it comes true. Good morning. So here again, I'm eating a little earlier than I normally would, but today the reason is because I have an interview in about an hour, and the last time I ate was about 3:15 yesterday afternoon, so I want to make sure that I'm not hungry during the interview. I really don't want to be distracted. And in that little montage, you saw me weigh my meat as I cut it. I had forgotten to turn on the scale. I weigh about 4 ounces, so it's 4 ounces of protein and then a bunch of butter. And I do this with both the beef heart and the arm roast. When I first cook the meat, I just go ahead and eat the meat because it's really good that way, especially the heart. It's like filet mignon. It is so good. But when I go to reheat, this is how I eat it. I just cut it up in little bite-sized pieces, put it in some ghee butter. Because it's still early, I haven't had my coffee, so as soon as everything cools off, which is why I'm talking with you right now, I will be eating. And I know earlier I said that my LDL count was high, and you might be thinking, well, yeah, she's eating all the saturated fat. That actually has nothing to do with it. If you go onto Dave Feldman's website, you will see he's been involved in lots of different studies. He's not a doctor, he's an engineer. With his own experiment on himself, he actually lowered his LDL when he ate healthy saturated fats. Don't believe Ansel Keys. There is still no credible study that has absolutely linked saturated fat and elevated LDL with heart disease. Like, nobody has been able to prove that an elevated LDL by itself is dangerous. So, like, all my other numbers are great. Like, my doctor's really not worried about me. Ansel Keys has never been proven right, but the medical establishment still follows it. When you look at studies, you have to make sure you watch who's funding these studies, because a lot of them are funded by big pharma or big food. They actually use special stat maneuvers to make the data work in their favor, even when the study doesn't prove what they say it proves. That's my 2 cents. So this is how I eat my beef heart and my arm roasts. Take that little bite-sized chunk, let it sit in the butter. It's like the clarified butter little cups when you order like lobster or crab or something like that. That's what this is basically is. But I just eat a lot of the butter, and it's really good. Comparable to having extra butter on your movie popcorn, which I can't eat anymore either. So this is the next best thing. Remember my prediction yesterday that I wouldn't have a BM? Well, it did not come true. But that's okay, because guess what? It was normal, and I had a ghost wipe. These, don't eat them. Guess what I need? Sometimes that happens. At least I don't have a lot of pain. Just have to run to the bathroom. Can I have a piece of cheesecake instead? This is my second serving of the day of beef heart. Didn't mean to wait so long, but I was texting with my sister and I got distracted. The ranch has stocked beef bones and none of the other things that I normally order. So that should be here tomorrow. No other bathroom issues today, just the two. Good morning. First meal of the day is liver. I said I was going to use the tallow from the oxtail when I made my beef heart, and I probably should have because it was still a lot of tallow. I ended up using it for the liver instead. I'm going to enjoy my liver and my coffee. See you in a little while. Why is it when you start something, everything seems to happen all at once? So while I was cooking my liver, I realized that I didn't hear the text from the ranch saying that my food was ready at the door. I realized it's because I turned my ringer off. It was there. And so while my food is cooking, I am trying to hurry up and open the box and get the meat in the freezer, and that box is heavy. And while I was trying to pull it in the door, I scraped my knuckle on the bricks outside. At the same time, Charlie decided he wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All of that meant that I overcooked my liver. It was a little dry and grainy. I don't like it overcooked. I just had another normal BM. I don't need my special dessert. Not yours. I'm having a lot of belly noise. I'm pretty sure dessert is in my future. I just transferred, so there was like still half the layer of tallow left from the bone broth, and I just transferred it to this jar. And I just wanted to show you how beautifully gelatinous this broth is when it's still cold. I mean, it is just jiggly. I love it. That means there's lots of good collagen and nutrients in there. This is from the oxtail, and so I'm going to probably drink that later on tonight. I just didn't want to drink it with that much tallow, and I'll be using this tallow for Sunday's liver. And once this is gone, that's the last of my tallow, and I'll need to make some more, and I'll be doing a little video on that. For a little while I thought I wasn't going to need it, but right now I do. Maybe birthday cake. That's what this is. It's birthday cake, right? And I'm not going to be eating my second meal today. I'm just not hungry enough. Oh well, I'll eat tomorrow. I forgot to say that the ranch has the rest of my normal food that I order, like the beef heart and liver and stuff, so I'm getting another package tomorrow. I am cramping a little bit worse than I normally do tonight. I'm going to try to ride it out, but I may end up having that last glass of wine that's in my wine bottle. If I do, I'll let you know tomorrow. Good morning. It is a drizzly, rainy morning. I have my beef heart in butter, my coffee. Hopefully, since I'm eating so early this morning, because I'm hungry enough, I will be able to eat my second meal today. I did end up drinking that glass of wine last night. My cramping wasn't too bad. It was just, I didn't think I was going to be comfortable enough to fall asleep. That's the whole point of drinking the wine right before going to bed. But no other issues. It's relatively painless today, but noisy belly. Let's call it a shortbread cookie today. Here we go again. I kind of knew that was going to happen. My belly has still been pretty loud. At least it's not painful this time. I think because I had an interview for a job that I really want. It seems perfect for me. It's part-time. I can handle it. But I think the happy stress from that has set me off just a little. Let's say this time, eggnog. I got busy editing and just made myself food and forgot to record about it. It's my second meal of the day, so beef heart in the butter sauce. I haven't had any other issues. A lot of belly noise. Sometimes feeling like I gotta go, but I don't. Good morning. I've got my beef heart and my ghee butter, and I want to spill it in my coffee. I skipped the Earl Grey tea this morning. I'm still having issues with this flare. It's not bad. It's just I still have a lot of cramping. I mean, at least I'm having some normal trips to the bathroom. I can't seem to shake this, and I think a lot of it has to do with the stress of the holidays, which is I don't want to. I think I'm going to get off the coffee as well. I'm going to go a week without the tea first, and then start reducing my coffee by a cup. Because at one point I couldn't drink more than 2. And then I was able to increase it to 3. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and reduce it and get off of it altogether and see if that helps me. Maybe I'm just not able to be a coffee drinker. I'm not going to have my second meal today. It's a little late in the evening for beef heart. I had gone out to a movie with my oldest son, and then we went to the grocery store. I think I'm just going to have beef broth instead. But we did, because I've been crampy all day, I woke up with it this morning. I got another bottle of wine just in case. But no other issues, just a lot of crampy pain today. But I guess I will be uploading tomorrow, so I'm going to finish this up and do all the edits and keep on trucking. I hope some of the things I have said have helped you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.